Hi. I'm like a person who talks to a camera. I'm like, hi everybody. Yeah, so that's a little presentation that I did on memes. So, yeah, so we'll be overthinking memes today. That's the goal of this presentation, to cringe together. So we will start to understand memes in a slightly different way. So these are just, oh nice, I'll just stand in the center. So those are some perspectives that you can take when analyzing memes. Not all of them will be here in presentation. I will just zoom over some of them. So we'll talk about evolutionary and biological understanding of memes, semiotics or symbolism, interpretation, linguistics. I have a personal problem with linguistics. If you ever read any academic article on memes, it's always about linguistics and I hate it. Like fonts, like spacing, language, stuff like that. Communication, political, sociology, aesthetic, ethnography. This is not an exclusive list. This is an example of meme analysis using critical race theory from the article. It's just like, we're not going to go over it, but it's like one way to analyze memes, but it's just basically an exposure for you to, think of the memes as we always think of it as like funny pictures or funny presentations, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Like it was viewed as mostly just funny pictures back in early 2000s. Now that memes have significant effect on socio-political discourse, that is changing actively in academia and like pretty much for everybody. I don't think anybody now just treats memes as like funny pictures. Like some of them are just funny, but some of them are actually not that funny. Next one. Yeah, so what are memes? Yeah, there is no consensus to what the memes actually are currently. So any academic article that you read will come with their own definition. Is it video? Is it a picture? Is it supposed to be funny? Are memes funny? Do they make sense? Like, what is this? Like, what is exactly is happening over there?
Perfect sense.
Yeah, perfect, right? So my preferred definition for memes, just for how I do my work, is that they are tools of discourse and artifacts of digital culture. So when we say about tools of discourse, it's basically like, if you think of like a YouTube video can also be a tool of discourse. So something that we produce intentionally to drive conversation. Artifacts of digital culture, that's just like more like a factual statement about memes. Memes are existing on the internet and they require human-computer interaction. So memes don't exist outside of the digital space, mostly. There is like rare exceptions to this where it becomes a physical entity, like for example when we talk about elderly, and elderly people sometimes print memes. So they don't share them electronically, they share them on paper. But still that would require some sort of computer or electronic device involvement. It's always said that memes are media. We'll talk about this, but my position is that memes are a genre of communication, they are not a medium. Or both, in a way. So genre of communication is like a type, like we have a presentation here. So it's a type of me sharing information with you, where like we expect that you sit there, I stand here and I talk. So the same way memes have particular expectation of how they are shared, distributed, and stuff like that. Medium is just mostly like, it's a type of, it's an electronic picture or a video or something like that. It should go faster.
Yeah.
That's what it says, okay. I like this citation from Emily's. It's the most accessible medium of today. So most of the political discourse online is happening through memes. Where are we? Yeah, so memes is a genre of communication. Yeah. So this is my defense of it being a genre of communication, basically. But memes currently play social and cultural role in the society. They are purposely produced for a targeted audience. So not all memes are made for all people. They are consumed and shared also not always by the same people. They form a system of social meanings. So whenever people, like the act of sharing a meme, the act of creating a meme has a particular meaning. They alter dynamics of the culture, we'll talk about it in a second, but they do shape how we view political and social discourse. They're driven by motivation and social activity. So yeah, like people who create memes have some particular drive to create them. And they, this is a fun part about like the previous memes, so they do cross-reference themselves, which is not something that we typically think about it, but if you watch memes, there are memes that require knowledge about memes. Like you need to know other memes to understand particular memes. And they reflect motivation and social activity. We'll talk about this as well. Yeah, things are getting harder. Structuration theory. This is a Giddens theory of how actions and behaviors drive institutional and structural change. So memes are part of this process. They don't necessarily, they are part of it. So memes by themselves do not really do things. But people create memes and they share them. And those people do other things too. So, interesting case of Diagolon. Canadian far-right association, very much on the hard right. So they're currently on a tour, finishing up in Victoria. So they have particular behaviors that are associated with them. They do share particular memes. So this one is saying that it's not real, doesn't exist, but they certainly do. I may not be in one of the events in Calgary. These are behaviors that are happening in the background, in the level of people. So these people participate in events, they generate and share memes. These people create a more acceptable position for the leaders of the state to participate in those positions. For those who don't know, this is Jerry McKenzie. He's the leader of Diagolon. So I don't think that Pierre here knows who he is. I don't at least it doesn't seem like he knows him, but this guy definitely knows him.
Mm-hmm. Is that Prime Minister PP coming out of a trailer after like a night of getting drunk or something on the left?
No. So he was right off my town, right north of my town. There was a stationing of protesters against the carbon tax. And he did interview in the trailer. Now, the question here, I don't know if he knows or not, but the big part of Diagolon is that they are going on a trailer tour across Canada. So he pretty much had an interview that looks like it's made in Diagolon trailer, but he was in a different trailer. He was in a trailer just like north of my town.
Those were just fans of Diagolon, right?
Yeah, those are just like fans of Diagolon. So they are kind of like replicating that lifestyle. But in a way, behaviors of people shape institutions. And then institutions kind of start it's a self-reinforcing cycle in a way. It works both ways. But in this case, behaviors are supported. Also, then we have Diagolon and a little bit more like mainstream media. It doesn't share any good opinions about Diagolon, but in a way, that circle makes the movement more acceptable and more prominent.
Mm-hmm. You would think that if he did know who he was talking to there, the Diagolon guy, he probably wouldn't want to associate with them because they had said that they were going to do things to his wife. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, they have like a there's like a after he did interview in a trailer. So for me it's very hard to understand here if he knows or not. So here I don't think he knows who he is. I don't think he knows who Mackenzie is. But then here, the interview that he did is very coded towards Diagolon. Because he's sitting in almost the exact trailer that these guys are traveling in. And then this Diagolon had a very cool meme posted with they actually deep-faked Pierre into their presentation, where it's three of the leaders of Diagolon, and Polivera is sitting there, and he just sends bullshit, and then it's just deepfake, so he just says random shit, and they say, oh yeah, we decided to adopt that guy. That's kind of what they say.
Interesting.
So this is basically structuration theory. So basically, behaviors drive institutions, and institutions drive behaviors. But that's like an example of where memes actually do play a particular role. Maybe, and then when we talk about mainstream media, like they may not be, like they don't have anything good to say about Diagolon, but they talk about it, and that way they bring it into mainstream. Yeah. So, political power of memes from here. So I'm a firm believer that in a country with relatively free elections, currently nobody can win an election without being properly memeable. So this is an example of Pelé in Argentina. We'll talk about it in a second, but basically political power of memes. So memes do have political power. They address some aspect of political ideology, which I'm really interested in. So different ideologies will have different way and like folklore and stuff that they put into memes. They are severely reflective of real life events. So things are happening, and people make memes about it. And then it's also gamifying and simplifying political discourse. So like fun and jokes, they make it less painful. Zizek's idea of ideological practice comes here. So it's part like memes of praxis. In a way, they are, but it's a part of at least of political practice. So people who are politically engaged, they will be sharing and creating memes. Maybe they will not do anything else, but sometimes they do. They can be subject to censorship and propaganda. So some memes that like Telegram channels that I follow sometimes get blocked because they post particular memes subject to censorship. Obviously Facebook will, or like more mainstream streams will not show a lot of memes that people actually create. And they are part of the, and propaganda, obviously. Like Russian propaganda. So sometimes memes are used as forced discourse. Part of identity. People actually identify things. So.
What was the thing about Zizek? What was that?
That one is about so basically he has like idea of ideological practice, which is not exactly the praxis. Like praxis requires you to change the, kind of like participate and like change on the outside. But his ideological practice is just like a way of person thinking and doing politics on a personal level. It's like praxis, but you're wrong. Anyway, don't question me too much. I know you know a lot of things. You know more than I do, okay?
Zizek himself is a meme.
Yeah, he himself is a meme. Yeah, he himself is a meme. This is like, I forgot about this. So this is a case study of, this is a case study of Milei, Argentina president campaign. So here we have him with his chainsaw, which was like, he was like posting himself as an ANCAP. Here is him saying like, I'm gonna slash your social programs, like just cut them. And then about the same time, we had the Chainsaw Man anime coming out, which had this little character, I think it has a name.
Pochita.
Yeah, Pochita, Pochita. So eventually it became Pochita, became Chainsaw, and then Pochita, Milei as Pochita is the Argentinian meme. So he himself is a little chainsaw. So there's like, he's memeable himself, he gets merged, and then that severely affects the election, to my opinion. Here, jokes. So, humor is an essential part of political memes. There are several functions that humor plays. It's just a structural component of memes, so it just exists there. It produces a positive reaction. So people tend to accept funny things better. They're easy to swallow. It's part of the motivation to share a meme. We like to share funny memes. It makes it easier to process difficult topics. And in part, it can veil the critique. So it makes critique like a second level of the understanding of the meme. Can be used tactically. So sometimes in the far-right spaces, humor will be purposefully put in by the people who are making memes to make memes spread. Avoid censorship. It's just a joke, right? Like anything I say, just a joke. A big case of this is Nick Fuentes. He ends his rants, he would say like the most vile shit and just say it's just a joke. So like literally, like if you ever like watch his content, like he'll be like pretending to like beat a woman and then say, oh, but it's all just a joke, guys. So, all a joke, which comes to your first question. We'll be explaining these for 5 points. What's the joke? All the memes in this presentation, like I study far-right spaces, so all the memes here are like deranged
If there should
stuff.
only be black-only space so the Nazis know how to avoid them, and then racially segregation is good. Racial segregation
The
is
SJW and the white nationalists overlap because they both obsessed with race.
Yeah, good.
Is there really any difference between these guys? They're saying the same thing.
Exactly, that's like a joke. That's like most of like I think all of the memes in this presentation are like, well, except like from the start, like the warm up ones are like general. Like most of the stuff I take is like from hard right spaces.
In this universe, the liberal left is running around saying race is very important in those words.
Yes. So this is like from far right Telegram channel where they basically say that hey, look at these guys who are saying the same thing that we.
Far right Telegram channel, also known as our political compass memes. It's like all the posts on.
Yeah, like on R. But no, this is like I go for like R is like R would get censored for the things we'll see here. Don't worry. I don't know who to give the points though.
He's the guy.
Unless you want to give fish to the studio.
Yeah.
This is a prize.
Studio fish. Yeah.
Okay, this is a redneck regalia.
I kind of want to win it now.
Well, okay. Well, let's do the point system. Just award the points.
Okay, so who do you want to give points? 2.5, 2.5?
2.5.
Okay. Well, track your points. Yeah. So, purpose of political news. So this is just don't we like the 2-axis graphs. Left, right, vertical, and funny. So there is like this is like one way to look at the memes. But basically the content can be more critical or they can be more fun. This is the same meme on the left. So we have failure of green capitalism. But here's like typical leftist meme, full of text. Funny joke. Here the same thing. Funny joke. Nick Fuentes' take on the that we should American rights should be rising. This is shared as a meme, like the picture itself.
Imagine being Catholic and a white nationalist. Whereas like most Catholics
Mexican
are brown.
Catholic white nationalists.
Yeah.
That's like Nick Fuentes is like I'm kind of like following him quite a bit. It's an interesting figure of many contradictions. Yeah, but that's like his take. But this is nice. Like this is like a funny, like objectively funny right wing meme. Now, break me no. So we're going from I don't know. I have a break on next one. Yeah, this one kind of thing. So irony. I mean, everybody seen Prague video on irony. You were like an early pioneer of this thing. Which, by the way, this is not an academic work. This like graph comes from just online. Like it's just an online person. Like there was like a person in early forums.
Actually, I know the guy that made that
Really, no?
specific quadrant, and he is in academia. He's an academic.
Yeah, but like the original posting of it is just like online. Unless he took it from his page and it went online and then it went.
He was academic, but he also ran the philosopher's meme.
Yeah, like that's where I think like that's where it spreads. Like the spread of it is not coming from academia. It's coming from the internet.
The internet,
yeah. So just like the thing that I want to add here.
I'm sending this to him right now.
Okay, good. He's here. So just the thing. So what I want to say is that irony depends on the context. So for a lot of, and then I'll let you explain several like different memes after, but sometimes people post and that like they say like, oh, it's just an irony, right? But like actually, this memes will be shared unironically in other spaces. So I was saying, irony and humor do severely affect how we spread memes. So it actually allows to spread more radical thoughts. So ironic, like both left and right use irony a lot because it allows to veil more radical positions that are otherwise censored by the social media platforms. So we should ban irony here.
Yes!
That's the conclusion. For 5 points.
Pre-ironic. Sorry.
What's the question? Yeah,
It's pre-ironic.
No. The questions are here, it's the same question everywhere. Explain this meme.
Holocaust denial.
Yes, this is Holocaust denial, so it is, but also.
6 million.
6 million. Is this
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, I thought they literally cooked 6 million pounds.
Yeah, so this is Holocaust denial, but the meme itself, this is actually from, well, I mean, like Twitter now is like just Nazis, but like, this is actually from Twitter. So this is like, I still treat it as like a mainstream platform because that's where a lot of the people are. So it will not be censored by Twitter because it's actually like, is it a Holocaust denial or is it really just a meme about,
Yeah, I didn't even notice he got the pencil mustache and the.
yeah, and a little haircut. Yeah, but this is an example of like irony used to spread ideas under like the gaze of.
So that's a very good point. Irony, because like irony is sometimes used as a hyperbolic over exaggeration of a point to be funny. But then if you actually believe that, then it's like you can both push the point, use that as a veil from your actual beliefs, and then you always get the people saying, well, Diagolon's not real, it's just a joke. Like who would actually want to create a new state of diagonal anti-COVID states, and it's kind of like the Canadian separatist movement, but there are already Canadian separatists in that part of Canada anyway.
Yeah, they like wags it, but also not wags it, and like just like like so yeah, like it's really used like a lot in like when we talk about political discourse and radical political discourse. The irony is like a thing. Yeah, now you talk. So we're gonna go right to left, and we're gonna explain all these memes. This is a hard one, but I'll give you a background on this one. Easy? Anybody?
My child will.
I think this is like an anarchist tanky dialectic, and the anarchist is like, let's just blow the system up, and the tanky's like, read 1,200 pages of Marx.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Like this is like a leftist discourse, like theory versus praxis. Yeah. Medium? Anybody?
That's Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
They should be young forever. And I don't know who the old guy is with him.
That must
That's
be
his
father,
dad.
right?
That's his dad? Okay.
Yeah.
So he's got the kettlebell, he's got the computer, he's kind of a tech bro. And
So he's like acting like he's 18.
Oh, yeah, that
Even
means.
though
Oh,
he's
it's that
45.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
has the past job like he's 18 because he's like biologically 18, so he acts like he's a child still.
Well, yeah, in a way. Is there, you think, like, I mean, like, I agree with that. Any explanation here is good, but any alternative ones?
There's also like it could be like of a sexual nature in terms of like, wait, hold on. You know what I'm saying?
You guys are having interesting ideas. I mean, I didn't think about either one of them, but those, like, this is the thing with memes, you can explain it in
I
another way.
read it backwards.
He just
so-
like denial about his life because he's like, no, I'm 18.
I've seen like this format
Yeah,
where
I've
it's
seen this
usually
format
someone
a
who
lot.
says that it's, I'm 23, mom.
23 is young,
Yeah.
and then there's a million different variants of that meme at every age.
Is
Yeah.
there a political interpretation?
No, this one is just like more. Well, like in a way, it's basically like anti-tech position here,
That's fair,
but
got it.
like, yeah, because he's just like hoping. But yeah, it's good. I really like your ideas. This is like so. This is a difficult one because we'll talk about it, but this is context. So
Canada, LGBT.
this is from a very hard right space. This is a hard right meme.
Bam, all of these.
Hmm.
Not these.
What's the flag on the bottom? Is that Italy or is that Ukraine?
This is France.
France.
Wait, this is
Israel.
No, it's classic edgy, classic not edgy. So like the classic edgy is the anti-gay. The classic non-edgy, trying to be edgy, is the France.
No, what are those
And then
four
the new
things?
ones.
Think of it differently.
Is this
Think
a
about it.
political compass? No.
No.
That's even, yeah, never
Is
mind.
this lost?
Well, in a way, but different. You're on the right track, but this is not a compass.
Yeah, I see a leaf.
far right.
This is far right meme, and all these things stand for something.
Oh, what do they all have in common?
Not in common, like what are those 4 things?
Alright, multicultural, gay, Muslim,
3 of them are country flags.
You're almost there. You're almost there. Almost there.
3 of them are country flags, and 1 of them is not.
Yeah, but they stand for 4 things.
I know that
You are like on
people,
such a right track. You just, what is Canada? Is Canada what? Like in the eyes of hard right?
no, they would say it's wrong.
Democratic?
No, but
Liberal.
Oh.
Leftist.
communist.
Oh.
Canada is communist.
It also
So that is
People live
authoritarian
outside.
communism.
Well, it's not a communist. I read it as a communist.
So it's
Read
not
it as a
communist.
list.
Okay.
Read it as a list. It's 4 things.
Are they saying that France is replacement?
No.
They always talk
France-
about how France
is it just
Do you want to like struggle, or do you want me to tell you?
Is it because France like is leftist and they just vote
Kind of,
for
yeah,
left-wingers?
yes, but
socialist?
France? Isn't
close.
even that
Well, you can say,
Oh,
but
they hate Muslims.
no. Okay, communists, gays, Muslims, liberals.
Oh, yeah.
Liberals.
Yeah, but kind of anyway, socialist is also okay. You can read it as a socialist, I guess, too. But yeah, like so, this is like a very hard to read meme for somebody who doesn't know the context.
I just don't
So-
think it's a good meme.
If
Yeah,
this
it's
is
a bad
Because you read it like you read it as a like
No, but like even
Meta
knowing the
irony.
true context is just like
yeah, you read it as like a meta irony, but actually this is seriously
Is there-
shared across right wing spaces.
Is there a different version of this meme that like is lampooning, or is it like referencing, or is it just like this is the meme?
This is
like-
me.
This is the so this
It,
is
it's like literally like a list, and the thing is like I've seen this like so I took it from like a very hard right space, and eventually it was circulating on Twitter as like a shit post.
I thought it was what George Bush hates, because how he hated France and Canada
a
for
free
not joining the Iraq War.
Yeah.
And hates Palestinians. Probably hates gays too.
Yeah, like I mean like it's like a similar
Yeah.
way of thinking. So it's like a list of 4 things, but for a person who's like not acquainted with like hard right information, this is just a shit post.
yeah, it looks like
It's like a
forward.
Facebook tier.
Yeah, this
Yes,
is
exactly. It just
free
looks like
class.
whatever.
Well, Facebook tier, that's an interesting point. Because if this was a Zoomer far right meme,
Mhm.
Israel flag would be there instead of the Palestine flag.
Probably
That's the
yeah.
core boomer Zoomer right wing.
The channel you took it from is most like 40-50
Yeah.
year old.
Yeah, that makes
I don't
sense.
understand the France.
Yeah,
what's
the France
France
deteriorates.
France isn't exactly the bastion of liberalism.
This is coming, okay, so
Yeah.
for the context, more context is coming from the time of
Kind of is, though.
Olympic Games.
To be fair,
That makes sense. Yeah,
France is like the only second country to be like explicitly founded under liberalism.
Yeah,
French
First was the US.
yeah.
Yeah, U.S.
And they have like communist parties, and the further left party just won over the far right party.
But also this is like from the time of Olympic Games, if you know
Oh,
like opening Olympic ceremony was
Oh,
just
the
like,
Dianetics,
Liberalism
yeah.
was coined in France. Like the
True,
term.
true. The concept of the liberalism, equality, fraternity, liberty.
good job. Squeezing brains.
It's so interesting because when I looked at this, I had a completely different interpretation. I thought that this was making fun of people who are anti-LGBT, who say like enough of these flags, like ban them all, talking about rainbow flags, trans flags, and the notion that they're anti-LGBT because they just don't understand it, that they're including all these flags that aren't related to LGBTQ plus at all.
Oh yeah, it'd be funny.
Like the notion that they don't understand
It'd be
it.
funny if it was like 3 queer flags in Italy.
Yeah.
That would be
Italy is gay.
That's the Italian.
Yeah.
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 But we'll talk about it. But basically, like a lot of what I'm interested in is that we'll talk about like where the meme comes from and who made it. Depends a lot on the meaning. And like sometimes people who share the meme, they might understand the meme differently.
Mhm.
Like that's exactly like whoever like whenever I've seen it like on Twitter, people were sharing it as a shitpost. Even though it's like I know specifically where it's coming from.
It also reminds me of like, why are the women from this country so hot? And they post like the
Trans
LGBT
flag, yeah.
Just easier topic a little bit, but I like that one a lot. This is just like the original times, like early 2000s coining of the term meme, which nobody really uses anymore. It actually comes from Richard Dawkins, that you don't see because it's on AC. Richard Dawkins was coining the term meme. He kind of used it as an analogy to gene. He just treated it as like his basic like biological theory is that gene is the basic unit of life that aims to procreate itself, and memes are just like that. which is not how we use the meme, because like in his definition, like bicycle is a meme because we just keep making bicycles. Otherwise, some of the like cross sections here between like biological evolution and meming are just replication, adaptation, simplification, survival, and viral proliferation. I want to talk a little bit here about simplification. This is an interesting concept. So for everybody who's kind of a little older and knows old internet, there was the whole thing with simplified memes, and then almost all of them died, and then some of them survived, and they kind of filled up the niche. Trollface is almost done. This is also a little bit outdated, but now it's coming back for Halloween somehow. I've seen it coming back again. But we basically just like, we'll talk about Wojak in a second, but we basically took this one meme out of this previous generation and just like repopulated the whole meme scene with like one old meme. This is also an interesting example. This is fresh. This is fresh, so simplification of Elon Musk. This is also an interesting example here. Sorry for Russian. So this is Chekjak, who was basically simplified from like a mass shooter. He was like simplified version of him. Yeah, and then like it just like proliferated to become this meme. In Russian scene, there was like a long time ago, there was very similar meme. Is it not charging? Oh wait.
You should use that to your thing for bullshit.
That's alright, we'll manage it. So there was like Russian version of the nothing ever happens kind of meme, but it never was simplified. It was never simplified, where should I say? And it never proliferated. It just died, like some memes. So there is a relation between simplification of like doing this to people and actually making them memeable. Which brings me to the next question. This is done explaining, please. Why do you think this works? Why is
He's
everything so simple and so ugly?
He's me. He's everyone.
Well, let's paraphrase my question just like in biological terms. Why do you think this survives on the internet?
It's easy to reproduce.
Part of it, yeah. It's also part of it like any other things. There's like more things. Like this one
The
is just...
simpler it is, the more you can identify yourself or anyone else with it.
Anything else? There's like more things you can say about it. Ugliness. Think of ugliness. Why is so much of Wojak ugly? What is this?
We're projecting it onto other people that we dislike already, maybe. Like,
True.
yeah.
Just from,
Like
if
the-
you
like
elaborate
the-
on that?
Like the e-girl drinking the yerba mate. Like that's an archetype of person that like a lot of right-wingers like feel
Yes.
like a visceral hatred for.
Yes.
So it's ugly for that reason.
Yes. Rage. Internet drives on rage.
It's also because it's made by 4chan autistic STEM lords who have no artistic ability.
That's also part of it, because simplification, anybody can do it. I can do it, you can do it, like, you don't need any tools, like, anybody can simplify anything. And then it's like, easily shareable, easily modifiable, drives on rage, great stuff. Simplification, really interesting thing. Whatever. Yeah, now, that's a little harder part, that's my personal views. Habitus is a logical concept. Read the Wikipedia definition. So the world that we inhabit and reflections of the world that we inhabit. This is just personal example. This is basically my grandma. So my grandma is like in Russia. She's close to 90. This is like her version of Mimi. This is reflective of her habitat. It just says good morning, good night. Good night, good morning. She sends me one at night, one in the morning. So this is her understanding of internet memes. Is like pictures with just like, like just a message. Good night, good morning. It's reflective of her and my habitat. So she's my grandma, I'm her granddaughter. This is my friend. So this just for the background. So this is a meme which says in Cyrillic letters English word. This is a meme that says a bunch of Russian words in English letters. So both of us are immigrants here. We speak both languages. These memes are reflective of our habitat. Just something to think about when we talk about like this is, I mean, like this is nice and warm, but it has like some implications. So how we select, share, and create memes are actually guided. It's actually all these processes are guided by who we are and how we live, what we are interested in. Also curation. So when we talk about specific channels on Telegram, when we talk about somebody who's hard right on the Telegram, they will curate their channel according to their habitus, to their understanding. And we'll talk about it in a second. This is just a meme. You don't need to explain that one. No. Oh, that's sad. There was a question. I don't think it's, that shows you the answer. Oh, good. Can I modify it? No. Anyway, let's go over this. This is the reply to my question. But just forget that you see it. So there is like a collection of 4 memes here. Here is the meme about, vegans got it wrong. It's meat, right? Like eat meat, meat is vegetable. This one you don't see. This is just a meme of like, this is just like a vertical, not vertical, but just like a picture. It's guy, like a white guy saving a dog from a drowning lake. This is a meme about Paul Herod. He's a
gun.
Yes, he's a gun YouTuber. He passed away recently. It's basically the guy being really sad about him passing. And then we have Dread West. So Dread West, big account, reject modernity, embrace tradition. So even like knowing that where it comes from, what can you take from like the habitus and environment of this person?
He's a real man.
American.
Yeah. What
Likes
else?
meat, likes guns,
Mm-hmm.
likes dogs.
Love liberty.
Well, the
Yeah.
dog is like what's important there is that the guy who saves the dog is white.
Likes white man saving dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's like this is one of the bigger like. I wouldn't say it's like far right, but this is hard right. This is a bigger Telegram channel called Working Man Memes. So for like true guys, like for the real man in America. So they post a lot of actually funny stuff, but like it will be like this is like representation of what these people experience in their life, right? They like barbecue, they like guns, they like old stuff, which is like reminiscent of hard right spaces, pretty racist, but also like they see themselves as heroes. So this is like one of the ways the habitus can be expressed in how the memes are curated. Like none of those are original to the channel. This is just a repost channel. But here, another more difficult topic, which I'm somewhat familiar with, but simulacrum. Baudrillard came up with this idea that the ways we express reality can change, creating 4 stages of simulacrum, where originally we have just expression of reality, and a lot of political memes are actual reflection of reality. Something happens, make a meme. Stage 2 is like where we start masking basic reality, where it's like still a thing, but it's not really a thing. Stage 3, the absence of basic reality, so it's like it progressively gives the attention. Stage 4 is there is no relation between what we have and what it was. So that's just like this is more difficult, but if you want to give it a shot, this is like an interesting topic. It's like really hard to go over it without spending 25 minutes. But if you want to give it a shot and explain how the reality is changed and reflected in both of those memes. No, they're unrelated. This is 1 and 2. Question 1, question 2. I should not give you any clues first. Try the Canada one. Like, what do you think about this in relation to Canadian? In Canada in summer, in this meme, and what happens in Canada in general. So this meme plays on 2 themes.
Like Norway, the forest fires and everything?
Yeah.
Ah.
So this is a reflection of Canada burning, like physically, but also the person who creates that. For them, this is like more transcendent view. So they believe that Canada is like, you know, falling apart and whatever, and it's on fire, quite literally, and also on fire in like political sense. At least that's how they experience it. So that's like an overlap between what is actually happening. So like forest fires are actually happening.
Oh, I think I was reading too much into the color of the background behind Canada. I thought it was
Wait, isn't that
Oh,
the,
so this is like a
yeah.
right
Isn't that
comments?
the age of consent?
Actually, it might be.
Yeah, wait, is this if this was political compass memes, then that would be Canada's off left.
No,
Yeah,
that
this
would
is
be
like this one in like
It's purple, is it not?
Yes, it's like
Oh,
no,
so
it's
that's
it's also like
That's
so it's-
live right, but like the age of consent type.
no, this is I think this is like not reflecting color properly. It's red.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
It's authoritarian. It's communist again. Canada is communist yet again
Communist
in this
Canada's burning.
presentation. So like that's the thing. So like it's reflective of several layers of understanding and change in reality for the person who created this. So Canada is burning in like on several levels. This is like a little bit more relaxed. Those are just like characters from video game, and they're located in a house, just like regular Canadian like awkward space house. You know, like it's just like a thing that you occasionally see. But if you want to like give it a shot and overthinking this.
This is I can't even tell what the hell's going on in this.
Oh, okay. So this is Elden Ring
Okay.
NPC characters.
Oh, okay.
I dropped the clue there, but
Oh, they're cooking some monster.
yeah, they're just like cooking. They're just like doing stuff. Like he's going on the stairs and he's just like they're just cooking.
Wait, isn't that guy that's in every Dark Souls game?
Well, kind
The
of, yeah, but
jumpsuit?
like yeah. But what's important here is that none of them are playable characters. They all are NPCs.
NPC. Oh. NPCs cooking in a place where you
In a
probably should be.
house.
Yeah.
So
You know the crockpot telco near us?
like a grandpa. Yeah.
Saying that people are becoming like NPCs, like we're becoming less and less human.
Yes. Yeah, this is kind of the reflection on like where in reality it's just like families and people living, but in this meme they're actually portrayed as just like regular family of like stuff, like you know, just like continuing with their life is portrayed as NPCs. Or at least like it's like reflected in that way, so just like it's a bunch of characters, they're not family in the game, but they are playing a role of a family in a meme, and they just like in a regular suburban house.
That one's really hard to get.
Yeah, like it's like I mean like this presentation is getting harder as we go.
They're not even cooking near a window or anything.
Oh, it's an awkward space. So this is also a reflection of like general like dissatisfaction with like pretty much like state of family and state of like everything like normal. Like your house has an ugly space that nobody can use, and people in it are NPCs.
And they're eating like what looks to be like some monster they killed.
Yeah, like it's also like a monster. It's a
Don't so half baked. I thought that they were burning the flag in there.
No, I think like, yeah, I think your overthinking is like a little bit too hard. Yeah, but we're gonna go a little bit further in this. I don't think we'll be like. I don't think I have any more explaining there. Yeah, this is as hard as it gets, pretty much. But this is like more like academic work of thinking about it. But when we talk about specifically political and social memes, we'll talk about it in a second. But it's important to understand that all political memes are reflective of real life events, like majority of them. Either real events or real opinions or real things, but it doesn't mean that these memes will follow reality. They will subvert reality and they will change it. So they progressively get more detached as they continue across the internet. So they continue to warp the reality and get turned into all sorts of interesting political ideas where they stop being actual reflections of reality and start being reflection of the opinions of people who make them or share them. don't need to explain that. I'll explain that one. So this is an example of like person basically not reality. I don't like that one. I really like the Twitter context because a lot of the times it like reflects like the levels of simulacrum. So the person says something that is maybe somewhere was rooted in reality but worked into many layers. Now it's reflective of them. Then somebody just throws like a real thing there. So again, like politicians as characters, also real but also not. What we have here, so this is just like reality, but like changed, paraphrased, like given to a different level. This is not really a meme, but people share comics as memes. So again, the way of this person thinks, they have to be.
Garrison, what's his name?
Or like he's like cooking and like it's like red in the background, green agenda. Great city of work. Yeah, this is like the Ben. Let's see.
Ben Garrison.
No, the Ben Garrison is the creator, and Carl Schwab is this guy.
Yeah.
World Economic Forum. So just like there was like reality some time before here, but it's not really there anymore. But for the person who made it, it's kind of.
I'm gonna remix this one, so he's pouring into something that says National Bolshevism, and then I'm gonna give Greta Thunberg the Ushanka with the swastika.
Nice.
You can do that too. This is just like a little bit of a kind of like Russian theme. But it's just like he's wishing us a great Friday in Eurasia.
A beautiful solar weekend.
Yeah, beautiful solar weekend, which we're having in Toronto today. This is just another, like, to shift the gears, to relax your brain a little bit, but also very important topic, perhaps most important, across the whole presentation, is the preservation of memes. So they're currently, anything that we share and exists on the internet, we assume it exists somewhere, but it doesn't. So none of those memes are actually preserved. Anybody here had an experience where they wanted to find a funny meme and then they couldn't find it?
All the time.
Yeah. I have a friend.
remade memes from memory.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is true. Like I had a friend who does that too. So like sometimes we lose the meme and we recreate it. So they only exist currently in our memory. There are several. There are several difficult, like different questions there. So, how do you store them? How do you keep them? How do you organize them? This is an example of meme organization. I'm sorry. On Reddit archive. So this is just an example of a person who's like filing memes like that. Did I break something?
No.
Hopefully not. Then we have ways of preservation, which are actually like videos. So there are like several different channels that specialize in just like explaining memes, but in a way of explaining them, they also in a way preserve them. So if we completely lose the meme, there is some trace of it existing.
So long as YouTube exists.
Yeah, until they
Yes.
post 3 copyrighted videos.
Yeah, and then boom. But some YouTubers at least like they preserve their own videos, you know. So at least like it can go on Internet Archive that went down last
Rest
week.
in peace.
Dust.
Yeah, so
It wasn't
this-
hard. It was just like there was like some upchain thing that doesn't affect the actual study. They're fixing it.
I hope so. So because this, like, I kind of like did this thing to myself where I used to. So I do look at hard drive spaces and I actually archive those memes. And what I used to do is I used to just like save them, inventorize them, and put them on Internet Archive. And then the archive went down. And then I Russman killed myself. If anybody knows who Louis Russman is, he's like a YouTuber who's like critical of like tech and stuff. Yeah, like it's so he's also kind of outside. He's big in preservation, so I kind of like hard drived all of my memes. And if you want, I also started like a Telegram channel where I post all the radical memes. I can send you a link if you want.
Telegram. The only people I know on Telegram are Russians and people who are far right. Like there's no one else on Telegram.
Yeah, it's like very common. But that's
Every
also
Russian I've ever met is on Telegram.
because it's like
Everything else is like banned in Russia.
But I also started like a channel and I hard drive all my memes because actually like I have a friend who I was not doing this presentation with, but the pre-existing one, and he said, if you see a meme and you didn't save it, and then it's lost, it's your fault. So like, I'm a big proponent of preserving the memes by any ways necessary. Yeah, that's my channel, extremism, because I post like extremist memes that I collect across the internet.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is know your meme. Everybody laughs at them because they never get things right. But one way the know your memes works is that it actually is like a preservation tool. So it's a website, but it has examples of memes, it has explanations, it has the context, it has the habitus, it has everything there. So even though they're lame in the way of like keeping up with times, they're really good as a preservation.
Maybe they're not so bad.
Yeah, like it's just a different way of looking at it. So, and who gets the fish?
Studio fish.
Studio fish. Okay, good. But any questions, ideas, thoughts?
When are you getting indicted for all the memes you post?
I hope never. But yeah, I don't post them anywhere except on Telegram. And I'm not banned yet, and I only started like recently. So we'll see how long it lasts. First thing that happens before indictment, Telegram channel loses public access, so I didn't lose the public access yet. Which means I'm still pretty slow.
Is there any specific way that like the Git structuration process works with memes that's like different from other media? Like, is there something unique to memes that fits that pattern?
Yes. So there is like the memes are like super accessible. This is like one of the ways of like the memes are like, and this is the reason like memes have so much effect on politics currently, because anybody can share them, anybody can create them, and we currently have like memes like that. Like everybody's seen the format where somebody just like blocks out a part of text, and then they just like type something on the top. Yeah, like so this is like an example of like memes getting more and more accessible. So even though like maybe in like early 2000s they required a person to have a computer, an editing tool, like like actual knowledge of the editing tool, we progressively get to the point where memes are extremely easy to make, shareable, and reflect all sorts of ideas. And if we hit it with social media, and places like, for example, current Twitter, which is like basically a hard right space that just like proliferates memes like that. So it's super shareable.
Yeah. I was just wondering, based on everything that you've studied about memes, do you think that they are here to stay, or do you think that there will come a point where they will die out and something new will take their place?
Well, not in the nearest future, unless we will like get nuked and stuff. I think they're gonna here to stay as far as. Yeah. Well, they will be making like memes and passing them through Bluetooth when they like leftover phones when internet disappears. But as far as internet exists, I believe the memes will be part of it. They are always changing, so like the format changes, like the ways of sharing them. Like we have now videos and memes too. Originally it was just pictures, now it's more common video with sound. So they change, but they don't die.
Have you made any memes personally? Are they in your meme extremism? Or are they just ones you've captured? Can we see memes you've made?
I mean, like I can pull some. Like I used to do that like before, like when I used to still have Reddit. I don't know actually because I didn't play Reddit. No.
I've been getting into making memes as an art form. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way I didn't cover it. But like actually, it's like I mean, like it's outside of my personal interest, but memes can be viewed as a form of art. It's an art of the people.
I think it's opposite. Memes
Really?
are the purest expression of democracy. Art is inherently aristocratic.
Well, literally same thing, the art of the people. That's why I call it.
That's a contradiction.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's like
Philosophy, man.
when if everything was art, then art is meaningless as a term, right? Like it's like everything has meaning, then nothing has it. Something has to not be X for it to be.
Okay.
I know.
I'm curious about your definition of memes because like the Richard Dawkins one is like way too broad, obviously, because it's just any unit of cultural media.
Sick of that guy.
But also like, so what are the necessary and sufficient conditions for like something being an internet meme? Like, is a YouTube video or like a full TikTok a meme in itself?
It can become one. So for me, like everybody, like if you read any article, like it starts with like, what is a meme? And they give a definition, and it's always different definition. Like there is like no different definition. But for me personally, I think that it's like human-computer interaction is essential. Spreading is essential, and format is not really. It can be a picture or video, but like I treat it as like a unit of information that is spread across like human-computer interaction.
And I feel like a big part of it too is like it having a format that's like remixable too, like a certain like a thing, like something that stays the same within like a set of memes that all have a resemblance.
Yeah, that's like a good like part of like its evolutional proliferation. So memes should be like the memes which are not changeable die. They just go up. I'll go like this. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about like how many people are responsible for like what percentage of memes on the internet, or if like 90% of the memes are made by like 5% of like the
Yeah.
like 1% of the people, something like that.
Probably.
Well, it's like hard to get statistics on that because like also like there is like platforming issue. Like people who make Telegram memes are not the same people that make Reddit memes, are not the same people that make 4chan memes. They are all different. But I would assume it's not that many because most of stuff is just reposted. Just reposted.
Yeah, like I saw a stat where like 90% of Twitter posts are probably like 5% people or something.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Reddit too. Like most of the posts are the Pareto principle.
I suppose this question might partially depend on the general definition of meme that you use. But could you retroactively apply the label of meme to forms of communication from history? Like, could you retroactively say that, like, I don't know, hieroglyphs count as memes?
Zimmerman.
Does it apply in that way or no?
So it depends on like academic research that you pick, but people actually do it. Sometimes the first like if we go back, like if people stretch the definition of meme to become like you know like not like especially when they treat meme as like spreadable picture.
Yeah.
So actually then one of the first memes that we see are like war posters. Like propaganda posters from First to Second World War, like the ones that were like intentionally made to be shared, to be affecting people's opinions, to have humor. Like they are pre-internet memes.
Right.
If you remove that part of like computer interaction, and some people do it. So like there is like no like stable definition of meme. It's kind of like do your own, which I don't see like as a like problem like that. A lot of people just like intentionally, people share memes, they understand what you talk about. So, like that. Anything else?
Can I share a meme I made that I'm proud of?
Sure.
Alright, is this Frank's computer?
Yeah.
Maybe I can send it on Discord.
You made it?
Yes.
Yeah, but hopefully it gave you like some new ways to think about memes whenever you think so. So like see them.
I will never look at a meme the same again. Every time I scroll, I'll have this whole analysis in my brain. I'll go through this entire presentation in my mind.
I like this presentation a lot too because I feel like a lot of analysis of memes, it's either just like the Richard Dawkins thing, if it's like, okay, you're just analyzing culture, or it's like, I know the YouTuber meme analysis, so I like it a lot, but his angle is entirely just the occult symbolic meaning of memes, which I think is a very niche way of interpreting, whereas you've gone through like all the different ways you can interpret.
It's like a frame, like people choose their frame of analysis and they just like
I
stick
put a
with
bunch
it.
of that.
I did a video essay
And
about
it's spoiling
memes like 3 years ago, and since then I never even thought about the subject.
What did you say there? You remember?
Hmm?
Do you remember what you said there?
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes, you could probably watch it, but like I don't even remember what I said in it.
Yeah, like
I
it's
haven't
like different.
I haven't thought about the topic since then. It's like you ever spend so much on a topic and after I never want to think about it ever again.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Well, like which frame did you choose?
Which frame?
Yeah. What was the? Did you use
I
like,
did
like
mention the
philosophy
docket. I did
or
mention the
like
docket.
what?
Well, it was very like political and sociological.
Yeah.
It was about ideology being reflected.
Oh, so it's like a political ideological.
Yeah.
Right, this is the meme I made. It's a map of Europe, made of Europe. You guys
That's
like
good.
it?
That's good. Yeah.
I thought I did pretty well.
Oh, it's nice. It's literally there. Oh, it's made of a map of literally made of map of Europe, made of Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you?
It's the same one.
It's the same one.
So yeah,
Well, I'll talk to you about
I
it in
feel
news
so
later.
big.
So you size the countries to their real sizes and rearrange them to match the exact shape.
Oh.
I really like the UK as well, like the way how I did that in.
Wait, that's UK?
Like-
That's actual UK?
Yeah.
Wait, so it looks like?
Well, I mean. in
No, I
that
mean, like, what
year,
is this? No, because this is Italy.
Yeah.
But what is this?
That's true.
Oh,
I ran out of space.
oh
It's
okay.
like bringing
What
France.
is the message of this thing? What are you trying to convey?
You can make Europe out of Europe.
Pretty good. What do you think he meant by this?
Yeah, like, that's like how you can think about it. You can think
You can
about
tell
it
I
like
started
this
with France and then worked to the right, and then Spain and the UK were like near the end.
Who's this?
That is Fyron.
Are
Former
they your
Yugoslav Republic of.
least
America.
favorite? Why are they so far out?
The UK over Spain.
Oh, look, it's my hometown.
I also ran out of. Like, Spain and the UK were last. Also, the Nordics.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, like it's
The
just
Nordics
like
tuck in nicely though.
Yeah. They kind of
Yeah.
differ.
and yeah, like it looks like you were running out of space and then you just
Yeah,
like put them.
No,
on.
it's Belarus, and it's
That's Belarus.
Lithuania, and it's Romania,
Mhm.
and also the Netherlands. There's Spain's over Germany area.
Is that Moldova over Switzerland?
No, that's we call it Netherlands.
You need to do other continents now.
Oh, yeah.
Antarctica next.
Yes.
America, you should do North America. So only 3 countries.
What's Telegram? T dot.
And meme extremism.
Memes.
There's a QR.
You want to look at it?
Yeah.
There's like 3 people there though, which is like me
What's
and
the-
2 people who are made the projects.
What is Telegram? It's like, is it like this?
It's
I
like
can send you the link.
t.co/.
T.co.
If you give me my phone, I'll send you a link. If you want to like look at what is there,
Meme extremes.
like some unhinged things.
You're gonna have to like put in the.
I have another question.
Yeah.
And it might be. It's probably an answer that, like, it depends on the situation, but I'm curious if you think that overall memes are more helpful or harmful.
Oh, that's Twitter.
That's a question.
I guess it's hard to say.
I think it's like the wider question is like it kind of taps into the question like if technology should exist.
Yeah.
Is technology better or worse? Let me share. I'll send you in Discord.
I feel like memes are value neutral, just as like as a thing.
Well, do you think tech is value neutral?
Yeah, I think for the most part.
Yeah, like in a way.
Oh, T.me.
I feel like it fluctuates too much to even be able to get
Yeah.
an answer.
No,
For me, it always depends on
have
the most
Telegram.
Oh, preview
recent
chat,
fashion
preview
of
chat.
In fact,
technology.
really, this
Review.
is bullshit.
Yeah. So I label them as like where I took it from and like date.
For liberation,
Oh, that's good.
Whatever.
anarchist.
That's National Socialism. That's general right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's like some like interesting things because I generally select like the couple a day, which are like worth the kind of like worth
You
the.
can see some tankies reposted this one.
I mean that picture.
Yeah, like they will travel. Like I just get it like where I get it,
Yeah.
but it will travel like to different places.
The picture of Putin as a monkey. Is,
I love that.
That's
Yeah,
so
like in
beautiful.
private.
Simeon Putin.
Yeah. This is very like this is like funny concern to me. That's why like sometimes I say that because I'm like, oh, this is like actually laughable.
Oh, that's the Galaxy gas.
We're just talking about that too.
Nuts balls.
ADL. Penny glued to rope. I don't get this one. Oh, okay, I get it.
Wow, now you're laughing. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is just like manga stuff. Like just
Oh, Fallout.
Doesn't affect me, Paul.
yeah, it's like doesn't affect me. Yeah, like this is like stretches because it changes from picture to like
Nothing ever happens.
sure. Whatever you say.
Left communism.
That's
Oh
very
god, so many words.
Left communist obsession against narrative betrays a cowardly streak in their politics, since there are far larger and consequently more dangerous popular democratic movements in the West they ought to focus on, but they're too cowardly.
Oh.
Here we go.
Damn.
Yeah. Enlightened centrism.
I left season right. That's how it goes.
You don't feel
lunch.
You don't feel the centrism? No.
I hate this one. This is my least favorite one.
There's only one for centrism.
I thought this said maybe communists.
Most of those communist deaths were Nazis.
This is not really like kind of
World
meme,
War
but
II.
like conservative spread is a meme. This is just like I found it just because it's the use of AI, which is really prevalent in conservatives. Like this is not a real picture. This is just like AI generated, but they were like it. They shared Trump eating fries.
He's just like me.
Yeah.
Eating fries.
Oh, I like
Oh,
that.
I love this one.
Yeah, that one is really good. I
Yeah.
put like some general ones there just if I feel like I need to put them there, I put them there.
This kid's
Can you
gonna
see
be
that
like,
one?
he's gonna be amazing.
You will love it. Screen maxing a toddler.
Check.